right? Similarly, if you have 3, say A, B, C. Now the regions are like this. What does that C show you? Only C. That is only B. This is only A. Now what is this? All the 3. A, B and C. What about this? A, C but not B. Only A and C. Otherwise A and C but not B. Similarly, there are 3 more regions, right? So remember, this entire region will give you B and C, but this region gives you only B and C. Only B and C means this one. B and C is this entire region, right? Now what is this? Only C, right? Only C. A and B. A and B means what do you take? A, B. We don't take this one, right? A and B. So neither A nor B nor C means outside these 3 circles. Now let us try to solve few problems so that you will understand. What is question number 1 there? 1 to 4. In a survey of 200 readers, it has been found that 80 read newspaper A, 100 read newspaper B, 75 newspaper C, 30 read A and B, 25 read B and C, 30 read A and C, and 20 read all the 3. Now from this information, see how to draw a Venn diagram. This is the entire set that we are talking about, right? Sample, space otherwise. 200. How many we surveyed? 200. That is entire 200. Out of this 200, there is 2 different types of papers. A. How many read A? How many read B? 100. How many read C? 75. Now 20 read all 3. 20 read all the 3, and 30 read A and B. We need to start from most common area. From there we can come to least common area. Are you getting my point? If you know the most common region, then it becomes easy, because we know what is all 3. If you don't know all 3, we need to assume this as x and this will be 30 minus x. Are you getting my point? Similarly here, most common area, and A and B, how many read A and B is 30, because already 20 is here. So how many read only A and B but not any other paper? 10. That is how it is, right? Next one, B and C. 25 read B and C, 20 are already there, so 5 read only B and C. Now 30 read A and C, so 10 read only A and C. What other information is given? That is, we can find out. That is not given here. A is 80. You know this is 10, 20 and 10 is already 40. The remaining is another 40. Similarly, what is only B? Only A is 40, only B is, only C is 40. Now total how many were surveyed here? 200. But if you add these 3 circles, B has 100 in it. This is 100. 100 plus 40, 140. 140 plus 10. 140 plus 10. 150 plus 40, but actually how many are there? 200. Out of 200, only 190 are inside. So how many are outside? What does it mean? Those 10 are not reading any of the newspapers. I mean, That is outside. Could you understand? Total 200, but inside these 3 circles there are only 190. It means the other 10 are not reading these 3 papers. As simple as that. Now, how many respondents read none of the newspapers? This is what we got. How many respondents read none of the newspapers? 10. Next one. That's it, right? How many read exactly 2 newspapers? Exactly 2. 10 plus 10 plus 5. Exactly 2. Exactly 2 means only A and B plus only B and C plus only A and C. Those 3. Exactly 2. Exactly 1. 1? 45. 40 plus 40 plus 65. That is exactly 1. Exactly 1 means only A plus only B plus only C. Those 3. Exactly 1. Exactly 2. Exactly 3 is 20. All the 3. How many read neither A nor B? It means 40 ఎలా అవుతుంది? అదే మరి మీ తెలివితేటలు అలానే ఉంటాయి. నెయిదర్ ఏ నార్ బి అంటే ఏంటి మీనింగ్? ఏ బి చదవనోళ్ళు. ఆడ 40 అంటే ఇంకో బయట 10 మంది లేరా? వాళ్ళు చదువుతారా ఏంది ఏ బి? మరి వాళ్ళని కూడా లెక్క పెట్టాలి కదా. అదే మరి ఆవేశం ఉండకూడదు. పనికిరాని యూత్ ఎందుకు కదా? ఆవేశం ఉంటేనే సరిపోదు, వాడుకోవటం కూడా రావాలి కదా. లేకపోతే ఎవడన్నా వాడుకుంటాడు. How many read exactly 1 paper? This was done already, right? In a class of 250 students, next one, 5 to 8. In a class of 120 students, in a class of 250 students, it was found that 80 play cricket, 140 play hockey and 100 play football. 20 play cricket and hockey, 40 play cricket and football, 30 play hockey and football and 15 play none of these 3 games. Total is 250. How many games are there? Cricket, hockey, football. How many play all the 3 games? We don't know. It is not given. So I am supposing it as X. X play all the 3. Then how many play cricket and hockey? 20. So how many play only cricket and hockey? The remaining 20 minus X. Similarly, hockey and football 30. Only hockey and football 30 minus X. Now cricket and football 40. Only cricket and football 40 minus X. How many do not play these 3 games? 15. Right? Now we know what is N of A union B union C. Do you remember the formula? See it here. N of A union B union C equal to N of A union B union C is equal to N of A plus N of B plus N of C minus N of A intersection B. అది క్వశ్చన్ మార్క్ బదులు యూనియన్ రికగ్నైజ్ చేయట్లేదు, ఏం లేదు. Let us apply the same here. ఇక్కడ n of A union B union C అంటే ఎంతో చెప్పండి అమ్మా నాకు. 235. n of A union B union C అంటే those who are inside these 3 circles. ఏలో బిలో సిలో ఉన్నవాళ్ళు ఒక 15 మంది దేంట్లో లేరు కదా, టోటల్లో నుంచి ఆ 15ని సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేస్తే యూ విల్ గెట్ వాట్ ఈజ్ n of A union B union C. What is it? 250 minus 15 because those 15 are not inside any of these 3 circles equal to 80 plus 140 plus 10 minus n of A intersection B, B intersection C and so you get what is x value. What is x value here? 5. X is 5. Shall we proceed? What the? Let us try to answer the questions given. Now this is 5. X is 5. So 20 minus x is 15. 30 minus x is 25. 40 minus x is 35. Now what is 15 plus 5 plus 35? 55. 80 minus 55, 25. Similarly 15 plus 5 plus 25 is 45. 140 minus 45 is 95. 35 plus 5 is 40. 40 plus 25 65. 100 minus 65 is 35. We got everything. Now let us try to answer the questions. How many play all 3 games? How many play all 3? 5. That's it. These are the questions that would be asked, right? If 10 students who play only hockey now start playing cricket also, and 10 students who play only football stop playing football and start playing cricket, how many will play cricket and hockey? Just try to understand. If 10 students who play only hockey, how many play only hockey? So if 10 students who play only hockey now start playing cricket also, అంటే వాళ్ళు ఏ రీజియన్కి వస్తారు ఇప్పుడు 95 నుంచి ఆడ 15 ఉంది చూడండి, ఆ 15 దగ్గరికి వచ్చేస్తారు, అంతే కదా. ఆ 15 దగ్గరికి ఇక్కడ 10, these 10 are going to add there. You understand? Right. And 10 students who play only football, how many play only football? 10 students who play only football stop playing football. They are not playing because they are playing only one game, football. Even they stopped it now, it means they are not playing any game. So now they start playing cricket. Where will they join? 35 minus 10 and 25 plus 10. So that's what happens. Here 10 are stopping playing football. They play only one game. Even they are stopping that. Then they are planning to start cricket. So they will join here. Now what is the question? How many will play cricket and hockey? How many will play cricket and hockey? How many are playing cricket and hockey earlier? 20 are playing cricket and hockey. Now how many more have joined them? How many more joined them? So now how many will play both cricket and hockey? 35. 35 ఎలా అవుతుందమ్మా? 30 కదమ్మా. క్రికెట్ అండ్ హాకీ అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ క్రికెట్ అండ్ హాకీ? దిస్ రీజియన్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ క్రికెట్ అండ్ హాకీ. దే ప్లే బోత్ క్రికెట్ అండ్ హాకీ. ఇంతకుముందు ఎంతమంది ఉండేవాళ్ళు ఇక్కడ? ఎర్లియర్ దెర్ యూస్ టు బి ఓన్లీ 20. Now 10 more joined. So now how many will play? These are not playing hockey, so we need not to think about them. Are you getting my point? They are playing only one game, cricket. We can't consider them. So how many will play both cricket and hockey? Right, 30. 15 plus 10 plus 5 is 30. Understood? How many students play exactly one game? How many play exactly one game? Huh? Exactly one game. What is exactly one game? 25 plus 95 plus 35. Those three. Addition of those three will give you exactly one game. Now next question. If 5 students playing hockey stop playing hockey and start playing cricket, what is the least number of students playing only football and hockey but not cricket? Now see. 5 students playing hockey. 5 students playing hockey or playing only hockey? 5 students playing hockey. So how many are playing hockey here? How many play hockey? Huh? Hockey ఎంతమంది ఆడుతున్నారమ్మా? 140. ఓన్లీ హాకీ కాదు కదా మనం మాట్లాడేది, హాకీ గురించి. 140లో నుంచి 5 మెంబర్స్ మానేసి ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? స్టార్ట్ ప్లేయింగ్ క్రికెట్. ఓన్లీ క్రికెటా? క్రికెట్ అంటే ఎక్కడికి రావాలి? 80 దగ్గర యాడ్ అవుతారు. అయితే ఏమంటున్నాడు? వాట్ ఈస్ ద లీస్ట్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ప్లేయింగ్ ఓన్లీ ఫుట్బాల్ అండ్ హాకీ? ఓన్లీ ఫుట్బాల్ అండ్ హాకీ ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు చెప్పండి అక్కడ? ఓన్లీ ఫుట్బాల్ అండ్ హాకీ. ఓన్లీ ఫుట్బాల్ అండ్ హాకీ బట్ నాట్ ఎనీ అదర్ గేమ్. ఓన్లీ ఫుట్బాల్ అండ్ హాకీ బట్ నాట్ ఎనీ అదర్ గేమ్. ఎక్కడ ఇది? హాకీ ఫుట్బాల్ కదా. దిస్ 25, దిస్ రీజియన్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ ఓన్లీ football and hockey but not any other game. There is no other game. So how many are playing right now only football and hockey? 25. Now if 5 players who play hockey stop playing hockey and start playing cricket, what would be the least number possible? Which one? Only football and hockey. So for least number it is if the 5 who stopped playing hockey are from this region, suppose, because we need to give the least number. If all the 5 stop from this 25, then least number possible is 20. What is maximum possible? If nobody stops from this particular region, then all 25 will be there. That 25 is maximum, 20 is minimum. So what is your answer? If that 5 stops from this region, then your answer would be least is 20. Do you understand? Right, let's move to next one. In the second class, 60% of the students take coffee, 45 take tea and 45 take milk. 10% take all three. Also 15% take coffee and tea. 20% take tea and milk. 30% take coffee and milk. 10 students will not take the other. What is the difference between this question and earlier questions? What is difference between this one and earlier questions? Earlier we were given absolute values, now we are given only percentages. Even you are given percentages, one absolute value will always be there. Do you see any absolute value here? Last statement, 10 students. So using that we can find out what is that 100%. Right? See, we can go for break after this problem. Right? No issues. So here our sample space is 100% total number of students. Now how many take coffee? 50%. How many take tea? 45. How many take milk? 45%. Now, what percent take all the three? 10 students do not take any of these three things. That's why they are outside three circles. How many take all three? 10%. How many take coffee and tea? 15%. So 10%. How many take milk and tea? 20. So 10 is already there. Another 10. How many take coffee and milk? 20. So another 10. 10 is already there, right? Now, out of 50%, 25% is already there, remaining only coffee, only tea, 20, only milk, 15. Now, what percent are inside? Out of 100%, add the percentages inside these three circles. 50 plus 30, 80, 80 plus 15, 95. What percent is inside? 95. What about remaining 5%? But outside, how many students are there? So what do you understand? 10% is 5% is equal to 10 members. So how many students are there in the class? Only 95 students are consuming beverages. 5% are not inside these three circles. So from this, 5% is 10, then 100% is what? What is it? 200. 100% is 200. So you need not to calculate percentages for all of them. You need not to calculate percentages for all of them. You calculate whenever it is required. అవసరం లేకుండా అన్నిటికీ 50% అంటే ఎంత, 45% అంటే ఎంత అన్ని రాసి పెట్టాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఎందుకు? టైం వేస్ట్ కదా. నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. వాట్ పర్సెంట్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ టేక్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ 2 of the 3? 2 of the 3, exactly 2 of the 3. He is asking in terms of percentages. Absolute values are not required. 2 of 3, exactly 2 of 3. Exactly 2 is 5 plus 10 plus 10. What percent? 5 plus 10 plus 10. So total how many? 25%. What percent of the coffee drinkers drink only coffee? What percent of the coffee drinkers? Coffee drinkers are there. 50%, 50 coffee drinkers. What I mean, how many drink only coffee? 25. 25 is what percent of 50? Half of 50. Half means 50%. So 25 out of 50. 25 drink only coffee out of 50. So it is 25 by 50 into 100. 50% of the coffee drinkers drink only coffee. Next one. What is the ratio of the number of students who take coffee to that of those who take only milk? Who take coffee? How many take coffee? How many take coffee? 50. How many take only milk? You need not to calculate what is 50%, what is 15% and then find out ratio. Ratio is not an absolute value. Ratio is a relative value. So using percentages, relative values, you can find out ratio. So directly take ratio between these two. Coffee to only milk. How many take coffee? 50. Right? 50%. How many take only milk? 15. Those 15. What is ratio of 50 and 15? 10 is to 3. 10 is to 3. Shall we proceed? The survey was conducted among 500 site owners. It was found that 150 people had hydroelectric, 300 people had BSc SLR, 300 had advanced PV cycles with them. 70 of them had exactly 2 of the 3 brands of cycles. 70 had exactly 2 of the 3 brands. This is the information given. How many are surveyed? 500 cycle owners were surveyed. 500 cycle owners. See, note. 500 owners. 500 total sample space. Now there are 3 varieties of cycles. So regular 153 PSA SLR 300 Atlas MTV. Now what is the statement given there? What do you call this three together? A plus B plus C. What is A plus B plus C? Exactly. Exactly 2 of the 3 brands. Exactly 2 of the 3. And he says exactly 2 of the 3 is how much? 70. Exactly 2 of the 3 is how much? 70. This is what we have, the information. Now let us see the questions here. What are the questions asked? How many had all the 3 brands? How many had all the 3 brands? We need to find out X. Now see how to find out X. Who are surveyed here? So everybody has a cycle. One of these 3 brands. Are you getting my point? Everybody has a cycle. So nobody is outside 3 circles. All the 500 are inside. Now we know the formula, basic formula. N of A union B union C means 500 equal to N of A plus N of B plus N of C minus A plus X minus B plus X minus C plus X plus X. From this, what I am doing is I am grouping this like this. Can I write it like this? Huh? What is A plus B plus C? So substitute it here. Substitute A plus B plus C as 70 because we already know that it is 70. 70. So X value is 90. How many had all 3 brands? 90. Now, how many had all 3 brands? Are you noting down? Next, see, what is X value? 90. How many had all 3? Is 90. Next question. If 16 owners had only BSA SLR and Atlas MTB with them, how many have only Hero Ranger with them? If 16 owners had only BSA SLR and Atlas MTB. What is only BSA SLR and Atlas MTB? B value. What is B value? 16. Then he is asking how many have only hero ranger. What is only hero ranger? That green region. That green region. So he says B is 16. Then what is B is 16? Then A plus B plus C is how much? A plus B plus C is 70. We know that B is 16. Then what is value of A plus C? A plus B plus C is 70. We know B is 16. So what is A plus C? Now A value, C value, A plus C value is 54, 90. So what is green region? 150 minus 90. Only hero ranger is 150 minus 90 minus 54. How much? 6. 150 minus 90 minus 54. 174 endra naina. Next question ka. Understood? Shall I proceed? Next question. If 160 had only BSA SLR cycles, how many have only Atlas MTB and Hero Ranger with them? Here, guys, remember, when you solve this type of problems, if information is given like conditional information, if 160 had BSA SLR cycles, this information cannot be taken forward to the next question. Similarly, to solve this question, we can't use previous question's answer. Why? That is a conditional information. If that is not a generalized information. Are you getting my point? Information given in one question cannot be taken or taken forward to the other question, right? When you have group of questions like this, unless it is clearly mentioned. Are you getting my point? So every question, the information given is, data given is independent. You need to be very careful. This is what we know. We don't know B is 16 here. We can't consider that B is 16 and only Hero Ranger is 6. We can't consider here. That was for earlier question. Now look at this. If 160 had only BSA SLR, what is only BSA SLR? This is this region is only BSA SLR. If 160 is here, how many have only Atlas MTB and Hero Ranger? Is asking value of C. He is asking for value of C. Now let us see how to find out. That is 160. What is this? Right? That is 160. What is this? How to find out? You give me an idea. We can find out what is A plus B. A plus B, 300 minus 160 minus 90 will give you A plus B. Because entire circle is 300. Out of 300, if you subtract 160 and 90, the remaining is A plus B. Am I right? Am I right? So I'm doing the same thing. A plus B plus 90 plus 160 is equal to 300. Entire circle. From this I am finding out what is A plus B. A plus B is 50. If A plus B is 50, we know already A plus B plus C is 70. A plus B plus C is 70. If A plus B is 50, then what is C? 20. Right? So how many had only Hero Ranger and Atlas MTB? 60. Next one. 20, that's what. How many owners have only one brand of cycles with them? So what is that we need to find out? Only one brand. It means only one brand. Something like this. Is asking for only one brand total 500, all the 500 are inside. So from this 500, if I subtract A, B, C and 90, whatever remaining is only one brand. Are you getting my point? Only green, only orange and only blue. This is what we need to find out. Only one brand, then this is only one brand, then this is only one brand. To find out these three, total this inside three circles is 500. From this 500 we are subtracting A plus B plus C, and we are also subtracting 90. The remaining would be only these three regions. So we know already what is A plus B plus C. 70. So only one brand is how much? 340. So only one brand is 340. Individually we can't say, but as a group we can say. Right? Shall I proceed? Directions for question 17 to 20. Out of a group of 315 students who went to Bombay, 125 visited SL World, 160 visited Film Nagar, 25 of them visited all three places, while 200 visited exactly one of the three places. The number of students who visited exactly two of the three places is 5 times as many as those who have not visited any of the places. Let us put it in the form of a diagram now. Out of a group of how many students? 315. That is our sample space. Total number of students who went to the picnic. What are the three different places here? SL World, Lumini Gardens, then Film Nagar, 125, 140 and 160. Now, how many visited all the three places? How many visited none of the places? A, C. A, B and C. What are these A, B and C? Only one. Exactly one of the three. How many visited A plus B plus C? It is clearly given, right? Number of students who visited exactly one of the three places is 200. Now, what is x plus y plus x, y and z? Exactly two of the three. Exactly two of the three. And what is w? Look at that w. Those who have not visited any of the three places, right? Now the problem condition says number of students who visited exactly two of the three is 5 times the number of students who have not visited any of these three places, right? So what does that mean? X plus y plus z is equal to 5 times w. This is the information we have. Now let us try to answer the questions that are asked here. How many did not visit any of the three places? How to find out? We know what is n of A union B union C, right? Let us apply the same thing. Total is 315 minus W is A plus B plus C plus X plus Y plus Z plus 25. That is what inside. You can't apply here n of A, n of B, n of C minus n of A intersection B. You can, but end of the day you get the same thing, right? N of A union B union C is nothing but number of students who are inside these three circles. That is what inside. Now from this what we can do, A plus B plus C is 200, we can substitute, and X plus Y plus Z, instead of X plus Y plus Z we can write 5W. So that's what we are going to do. 200 plus 5W plus 25. So obviously it is 6W is 90. So W is how much? 15. So how many did not visit the 3? 15 students. How many visited exactly 2 of the 3 then? 75. How many students visited not more than one place? What do you understand by not more than one place? One place or no place? Right? Give me not more than 1000 means? Less than 1000 కాదు 1000 or less than or equal to, I mean less than or equal to 1000. So what we are supposed to count here? Exactly 1 అంటే ఏదమ్మా అక్కడ? A plus B plus దానికి ఇంకోటి ఏం యాడ్ చేయాలి? W యాడ్ చేయాలి. సో A plus B plus C 1 or none is A plus B plus C plus W. A plus B plus C ఎంత? 200. So W, so answer ఎంత? 1 or none is 215. Next one. If the number of students who visited at least one of the Lumbini Gardens and Film Nagar is 255, how many visited only SL World? If number of students who visited at least one of Lumbini Gardens and Film Nagar is 255, అంటే ఏంటి? Lumbini Gardens or Film Nagar, Lumbini Gardens Union Film Nagar is how much? 255. అంటే లుంబిని గార్డెన్స్ ఫిలిం నగర్ కలిపితే 255. టోటల్ ఎంత? 315. 255 315లో నుంచి 255 తీసేస్తే 60. ఆ 60లో 15 బయట ఉన్నారు అంటే ఇంక లోపల ఎంతమంది ఉండాలి? ఇంకా 45. ఏ వాల్యూ 45 అవుతుంది. ఏ వాల్యూ ఓన్లీ ఎస్ఎల్ వరల్డ్ ఏ వాల్యూ ఎంత అవుతుంది? అవన్నీ తీసేస్తే అంతే కదమ్మా. ఏమేమి తీసేయాలి? 315లో నుంచి ఫిలిం నగర్ అండ్ లుంబిని గార్డెన్స్ ఇది మొత్తము బ్లూ అండ్ ఎల్లో కలిపితే అది వస్తుంది. B ప్లస్ C ప్లస్ X ప్లస్ Y ప్లస్ Z ప్లస్ W, సారీ X ప్లస్ Y ప్లస్ Z ప్లస్ 25, అదే కదా మొత్తం అది. ఇది రెండు దాంతోపాటు బయట ఉన్నది కూడా తీసేయాలి. అప్పుడు ఏ వాల్యూ ఏంటో వస్తుంది. ఏ వాల్యూ ఎంత వస్తుంది? 315 మైనస్ 255 మైనస్ 15. ఆ 255 చెప్తున్నాడు కదా ఈ వాల్యూ అంతా. బ్లూ సర్కిల్ అండ్ ఎల్లో సర్కిల్ టుగెదర్ ఈస్ 255 మైనస్ అవుట్ సైడ్ 15. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ఇట్? ఇట్ ఈస్ 45. సో హౌ మెనీ విజిటెడ్ SL World? Only SL World. Only SL World is 45. Now next question. If the number of students who visited at least one of Lumbini Gardens and Film Nagar is 255, again the same information he is mentioning, then how many students visited only one among Lumbini Gardens and Film Nagar and not any of the other places? Now he says the same thing. Given A is 45, we know, I mean A is 45 means he is saying that yellow plus blue is again 255. Yellow plus blue is 255. We know A is 45. Now what is his question? How many students visited only one among Lumbini Gardens and Film Nagar? Lumbini Gardens is but not other places. It means only Lumbini Gardens and only Film Nagar. How many visited? That is his question. How many students visited only Lumbini Gardens and only Film Nagar? It means B plus C is asking for, we know A plus B plus C is 200. We know what is A. What is B plus C? 155. So one of only Lumbini Gardens and Film Nagar but not any other places is 155. Any doubts in the sheet? Good. Cube has? A cube has How many corners? Corners are vertices. Now, what else it has? 6 faces. And how many edges it has? 12. 4 top edges. There are 4 top edges. You can imagine this room as a cube, though it is not it's a cuboid, but still there are 4 top edges. Edge is a line that joins 2 faces. For example, this is one face and this is another face. Line there joins 2 faces. That is called an edge. There are 4 top edges, 4 vertical edges and 4 edges in the bottom. Right? So a cube has 8 vertices, 6 faces and 8 vertices, 6 faces and 12 edges. Now let us come back to first question after some time on the sheet. Right? Now, what is second question asked here about the cube? What is maximum number of identical pieces a cube can be cut into by 4 cuts? If a cube is cut, what is the maximum number of identical pieces we get? How many cuts are given here? 4 cuts. Maximum. So when there is maximum, there should be minimum as well. Are you getting my point? When there is maximum, there should be minimum as well. My idea is, forget about this particular question. 4 cuts or 5 cuts or 6 cuts or n cuts, whatever. We should be able to generalize when do we get maximum number of identical pieces and when do we get minimum number of identical pieces. Now, the idea is like this. How should the cube be cut to get the maximum number of identical pieces, and how should the cube be cut to get minimum number of identical pieces? Right? So, Indeed? Huh? Now, do you have any idea when do we get maximum number of identical pieces and okay, see here, to get maximum, first see, to get minimum, what should we do? What should we do to get minimum? Cut should be made in the same. What I mean to say is like this. Suppose you are given 3 cuts. If you make 3 cuts on the same dimension, so how many pieces are there? So if you have 5 cuts, n cuts, so what is minimum number of identical pieces we get? Number of cuts plus 1. That is minimum. We could generalize it. Do you follow? Right. Now, to get maximum number of identical pieces, cuts should be distributed equally in all dimensions. So it is like this. For example, you are given 3 cuts, one cut lengthwise, 1 cut breadthwise, 1 cut heightwise. If you distribute cuts equally in all dimensions, then you get maximum number of identical pieces. How many pieces are there? You see 4 on the top, upper half, another 4 on the lower half. Right? So this is the idea, to get maximum and to get minimum. Now let us go back to the question. What is the maximum number of identical pieces a cube can be cut into by how many cuts? 4 cuts. Now, how to distribute 4 cuts in 3 dimensions? 4 cuts. This is maximum possible. We need to distribute it into 3 dimensions, right? So 1 cut, 2, 3. Third, we should take it on any one of the dimensions. That is maximum possible distribution, because you can't take a fraction of a cut. Cut is integral. 1/3 కట్ని ఒక సైడు 1/3 కట్ని ఒక సైడు 1/3 కట్ని ఒక సైడ్ చేయొచ్చా? ఎలా చేస్తారు? కుదరదు కదా. కట్ ఈజ్ ఇంటిగ్రల్, ఇంటీజరే ఉండాలి అక్కడ. సో దట్ ఈస్ మ్యాక్సిమం పాసిబుల్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్. 3 డైమెన్షన్స్కి ఒక కట్ ఇచ్చి ఇంకోటి ఎక్స్ట్రా కట్ని యూ కెన్ మేక్ ఇట్ ఆన్ ఎనీ ఆఫ్ ద 3 dimensions. It is not going to make any difference. Now 1 cut gives you how many pieces? So 2 cuts give you how many pieces? On the same dimension. On 1 dimension, number of pieces is one more than number of cuts on 1 dimension. So we are talking on one particular dimension, we are making 2 cuts. So in that particular dimension you are going to have 3 pieces, something like this. On 1 dimension you are making 2. So how many pieces you have in that dimension? 3. On another dimension 1 cut. On another dimension 1 cut. So 2 cuts gives you 3 pieces, 1 cut gives you 2 pieces, 1 cut gives you 2 pieces. So total number of maximum number of identical pieces you get is 12. Understood? There is one more idea here. 4 cuts can also give you 16 pieces, something like this. So if you don't see 12 in your options, then he must be thinking like this. But most of the times there are 2 ways you cut a cube. One is keeping the cube intact and making it into pieces. There we are not moving the pieces, right? We are keeping the cube as it is intact and cutting. Other idea is the cube, cut the cube, first cut into 2 halves. Now you have 2 pieces. Pile the pieces one on the other. Now second cut. Now you get 4 pieces. Now line them up. Pile one on the other. Third cut, 8 pieces. Again pile them up, 16 pieces. Right? So if this option is not there, then he probably must be thinking in that way. Right? But most of the times the question is asked like this, keeping the cube intact. You never have like that. Somebody who worst case lo you opt for this. Question number 3. A cube is cut parallel to one face by 10 cuts such that all the resulting pieces are identical. What is the maximum number of identical pieces that can be obtained by now making 2 more cuts in any direction? See this? A cube is cut 10 times on one of its faces like that. How many guys? 40? Very good. What is minimum? The same question. Huh? సరే కాసేపు ఆలోచించండి, ఆవేశపడకుండా ఆలోచించండి. ఇందాక నేను కదా చెప్పింది నేను. ఓ బాబా, వెరీ గుడ్. ఏం పేరు నీ పేరు? దినేషా? ఓకే, లెట్ us go back to that question. I'll come to that later. It is cut like this 10 times. So how many pieces you have already there? 11. Now you are allowed to cut 2 more times. What is the maximum you get? You distribute cuts in other 2 dimensions, then you will get maximum. Something like this. Now you have 22 pieces and you take 1 more cut here. Now you will have 44. That is maximum. If you want to have minimum, can we take 1 more cut in this dimension? The answer for this question is 44. 11 into 2 into 2, that is 44. That's very clear. But now my question is, in the same question, if you want to get minimum, this is how we have it. Can I take one more cut here? What happens if I cut one more time here? The resulting pieces are not identical. So can we make one more cut there? Marinda rendu saarlu cut cheste 10 to 12 ayi 13 avutundi answer ani cheptunnaru. We can't make one more cut in the same dimension because the resulting pieces will not be identical. Now, if you distribute, there are two more dimensions that we can use. If you distribute cuts in those two dimensions, then you get maximum. Or if you restrict yourself to one of the dimensions, then you get minimum. So instead of cutting it on both the dimensions, take one cut here, another cut here. So you get 33. If you distribute cuts in both the dimensions, then you get 44. Was that clear? Right, next one. A cube measuring 6 centimeters each edge has been cut into 64 small but identical cubes. If it was estimated that it would take 4 liters of paint to paint all the faces of the original cube, how much paint is required to paint all the faces of all the smaller cubes? There is a cube like this. What is its edge? 6 centimeters. So this is cut into 64 small identical cubes like this, 4 in each dimension, right? It is cut into 64 small identical cubes like this. Now what would be the side of each edge of the smaller cubes? Side of the bigger cube is 6 centimeters. What would be the measure of each side, measure of the side of the each smaller cube? 1.5 centimeters. Now the problem says, to paint this bigger cube, it takes how many liters of paint? 4 liters. Then to paint all surfaces of all the smaller cubes, how many smaller cubes we have here? 64. To paint all the 64 smaller cubes, how much paint is, how many liters of paint is required? So how do you solve it? What area? Surface area. Surface area of the bigger cube. Now find out again surface area of all 64 smaller cubes. Surface area of one smaller cube into 64 will give us surface area of all 64 smaller cubes. So for this much surface area, 4 liters required. For this much surface area, how many liters of paint is required? Right? Now that's what we are going to do. Total surface area of the bigger cube, 6 surfaces. Each surface, area of each surface is 6 square because the edge is 6. So 6 into 6 square. Now 216 square centimeters. Surface area of each smaller cube, smaller one, 6 surfaces, each surface is 1.5 whole square because the edge is 1.5 into 1.5. So total surface area of 64 such smaller cubes, 64 into area of 1, that is 864 square centimeters. For 216 square centimeters, 4 liters paint is required. For 864, how many liters is required? How many times more it is? 4 times more. 4 times more. 216 and 864. 864 is 4 times 216. So 4 times 4 is 16 liters. Now we require how many liters of paint? 16 liters. Next time, this is just to make you understand. Next time a question is given like this. Shortcut is, if one edge is divided here, each edge is divided into how many pieces? Edge is divided into how many parts? One edge. is divided into 4 parts. Paint requirement also increases in the same ratio. Original cube, 1 part required. New cube, 4 parts will be required. 1 is how much? 4. If 1 is 4, 4 is how much? 16. If one edge is divided into 3 pieces, paint requirement will be in the ratio 1:3. In the same ratio, surface area increases. If one edge is divided into 5 parts, 1:5. Are you getting my point? 1:5. Surface area increases in the same ratio. So paint requirement also changes in the same ratio. Next question. Let's go back to question number 1 now. Huh? 2? Very good. You are very intelligent. Really. 125 small but identical cubes have been put together to form a large cube. 125 small identical cubes have been put together to form a large cube. Now, how many more such small cubes will be required to completely cover this large cube? The idea is like this. 125 means 5 by 5 by 5. Cubes are put together like this. They are joined like this to form a bigger cube. Now we want to completely cover this cube on all 6 surfaces. So with the similar smaller cubes. Taking 125 small identical cubes, we have joined and formed a bigger cube. Now we want to completely cover this bigger cube using similar smaller cubes. How many more smaller cubes would be required? That is the question asked. Now how to cover? See here. This is how we are going to cover it. Right? I kept this space open so that you can understand. Top we have added 1 layer. Bottom we have added 1 layer. This side we have added 1 layer. It means on every face we are adding 1 layer. Now see, suppose this is the cube that is joined by that is formed by joining 125 small identical cubes. How many cubes you have in this dimension? 5. Because edge of that cube would be 5. So 5 cubes in this dimension, 5 cubes in this dimension, 5 cubes in this dimension. Now what we are doing? We are adding 1 layer of cubes on that surface in order to cover the cube. 1 layer on that surface, 1 layer on this surface, 1 layer on that surface, 1 layer here, top 1 layer and bottom 1 more layer. After completely covering it, how many cubes you have in this dimension now? 7. 1 extra, 7. In this dimension? 7. In this dimension? So before covering it, the cube's dimension is 5 by 5 by 5. After covering it, the dimension is 7 by 7 by 7. So difference would give you the number of cubes that we have used in order to cover this cube. What is 7 cube? 343. Minus 5 cube? 125. 343 minus 125 is 218. A simple way to think it. Understood? So it is 7 by 7 by 7, 343. So difference would give you 343 minus 125. What is difference? 218, 218. Now, directions for questions 5 to 8. 125 small but identical cubes are put together to form a large cube. This larger cube is now painted red on all 6 faces. See what he says. How to join 125 small identical cubes to form a bigger cube? All of you look at this, you will clearly understand. That is how you can join 125 small identical cubes to form a bigger cube. How many are there? 25 now. Second layer 25, third layer 25, fourth layer 25, fifth layer 25. Now do you understand how to form a bigger cube by joining 125 small identical cubes? Do you understand? How many layers we have? So how many in each layer? 25. How many along each edge? 5. How many along each edge? You take any edge, you have 5. Any dimension, you have 5. Now this cube is painted red on outside. Outside of this cube is painted red. Only outside of this bigger cube, not inside, inner cubes. Are you getting my point? Now how many of the smaller cubes have no face painted at all? Now here the questions would be like, how many have all the 3 surfaces painted? How many have 2 surfaces painted? How many have 1 surface painted, no surface painted? Right? Imagine this is the cube that is formed by joining 125 small identical cubes. All outer surfaces are painted red. Now we have to find out cubes without paint on their surface. What to do? Total number of cubes minus cubes that are painted will give you cubes without paint. What I am doing is, now I am going to remove all painted cubes. The remaining is the cubes without paint. How I am going to remove? This surface is painted, so I am going to remove one layer. This surface is painted, I am going to remove one layer. Like this, one top layer, bottom layer, that surface and this surface. Before we have 5 in each, right? Each dimension. After removing 2, how many you have in this dimension? 3. In this dimension, so 3 into 3 into 3, that is cubes without paint, because we have removed all the painted cubes, right? So see this. That is how it is, right? If you remove, you have 3 by 3 by 3. That is the cubes, inner cubes, without any paint on the surface. So answer is, next time how we generalize? N minus 2 whole cube. You can generalize because we are removing 2 layers on each surface. So n minus 2 whole cube will give you the number of cubes that are without paint on their surface. Next one. How many of the smaller cubes have exactly one face painted? First tell me, where do you find cubes that are one surface painted? One surface paint ఉన్న cubes ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయో ఫస్ట్ తెలియాలి. క్యూబ్లో ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి? కార్నర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎడ్జెస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఫేసెస్ ఉన్నాయి, అంతే కదా? Where do you find these cubes? Do you find them on the corner, at the corner, or along the edges, or on the surface? Huh? This is the cube. Where do you find cubes with one surface painted? There. Am I right? They have only one surface painted. Why? At the corner 3 surfaces are exposed. So on the corner you have 3 surfaces painted. Along the edges 2 surfaces are exposed. So along the edges you have 2 surfaces painted. Excluding corners and edges, the innermost cubes, they have only one surface painted. Now you understand, right? How many such faces a cube has? 6 faces. On each face how many are there? On each face how many are there? So 9 into 6. So how to generalize it? Suppose there are n cubes along the edge. N along the edge. How many are we excluding here in each dimension? See here. Instead of 5, if you think this is n, from here to here it is n, there are n cubes. We are excluding one row here and we are excluding one more here. So we are considering only n minus 2. Similarly, in this dimension also we are considering n minus 2. N minus 2 into n minus 2, n minus 2 whole square on one face into 6 will give you number of cubes that are one surface painted. So it is 6 into n minus 2 whole square. Understood? Let's proceed to next. So it is like this. 3 you can see, the other 3, right? You can imagine. 6 faces into 9, it is 54. How many of the smaller cubes have exactly 3 faces painted? Exactly 3. Exactly 3. Where do you find cubes? Corners, right? Those cubes have 3 surfaces exposed. 3 surfaces exposed. ఈ ప్రాబ్లం అయిపోగానే స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాం. As long as all the 6 surfaces of the cube are painted, you have exactly 8 cubes that are 3 surfaces painted. Irrespective of number of cubes, I mean, number of pieces you cut the cube into. In the case, cut just for 8 corners. Are you getting my point?